kind of power that never announces itself. It does not shout, it does not chase, and it does not beg the world for proof. It sits quietly inside a calm mind, and then it moves reality like gravity. Most people think manifestation is a wish. They picture a future, repeat a few words, and hope the universe bends. The Stoics would call that slavery in disguise, because a man who needs the world to change before he can be at peace will never be free. But here is the secret most channels never tell you. The fastest way to get what you want is to stop needing it to quiet your mind. When your mind relaxes, your perception becomes sharp, your actions become clean, and your choices become powerful. That is what manifestation really is, not magic, but mastery. In this video, you are going to learn 7 Stoic philosophy secrets to relax your mind and manifest everything you want the only way that lasts. Not by forcing the world, but by training the part of you the world cannot touch. These principles are simple, but they are not easy, because they demand that you stop negotiating with your old self. Stay with me until the end, because the final secret is the difference between a life that looks good on the outside and a life that feels unshakable on the inside. And once you see it clearly, you cannot unsee it. Secret 1: Master the space between stimulus and desire. Most people try to manifest from a mind that is already on fire. A notification lights up, their chest tightens. A memory appears, their mood collapses. An opportunity shows up, and fear grabs the pen and writes the ending. If you cannot control that tiny gap between what happens and what you chase, you will chase the wrong things for years. You will mistake anxiety for intuition. You will confuse attachment with ambition. And you will call it destiny when it is just impulse wearing a crown. Epictetus taught that we are disturbed not by events, but by the judgments we attach to them. The modern world adds a second trap: we are driven not by desires, but by the stories we attach to those desires. Money is not the desire. The desire is the story that money will finally make you safe. Love is not the desire. The desire is the story that love will finally make you whole. Here is how you relax your mind immediately. When you feel yourself reaching, pause for 5 slow breaths. Not to calm down for show, but to reclaim your command. Then ask one hard question: what am I about to do, and what do I believe it will give me? Strip the desire down to its raw form. If it is chasing respect, admit it. If it is chasing comfort, admit it. If it is chasing revenge, admit it. Awareness is not weakness. It is the first form of power. Notice the contrast. The undisciplined mind says, "I want it now, because I feel incomplete." The disciplined mind says, "I can wait, because I am already whole, and I will act with precision." One mind is a leaf in the wind. The other mind is a mountain that decides where the path will go. Secret 2: Detach your peace from outcomes. If you want a relaxed mind, stop making your calm a reward that arrives after results. Results are weather. They change fast. Peace must become your climate. Marcus Aurelius wrote reminders to himself because he understood a brutal truth: a man who cannot keep his inner state steady will sabotage his outer goals without even noticing. Think of 2 archers. Both want the target. The first archer needs to hit the bullseye to feel worthy, so his hands shake, his breath rushes, and his mind begs for certainty. The second archer trains the release, not the applause. He aims, he exhales, he lets the arrow fly, and he accepts whatever wind shows up. Over time, the second archer becomes dangerous, not because he is lucky, but because he is consistent. This is the Stoic version of manifestation. You do not attract outcomes by craving them. You build outcomes by becoming the kind of person who can produce them on command. The craving mind is noisy. The disciplined mind is quiet. And quiet minds see opportunities that loud minds miss. From today, practice outcome detachment in a concrete way. Pick one goal you care about. Write it down in one sentence. Then write the process that actually creates it in 3 actions you can do daily. Judge your day only by those actions. Not by praise, not by likes, not by the timing of results. When you do this, your nervous system relaxes, because your mind stops living in a future it cannot control and returns to a present it can shape. And here is the contrast that changes everything. The average person says, "I will be calm when I succeed." The Stoic says, "I will succeed because I am calm." One waits for the world to give permission. The other becomes permission. Secret 3. Kill expectations before they kill your peace. Expectations are silent contracts the world never signed. You expect people to understand you. You expect effort to be rewarded quickly. You expect life to stay fair when you behave well. Then reality breaks the contract, and your mind calls it tragedy. To manifest with a relaxed mind, you must stop treating disappointment as an insult. Disappointment is information. It tells you where you were attached. It shows you the gap between what is and what you demanded. The river does not rage at rocks. It flows, it adjusts, it continues. People suffer because they demand a straight road in a world built like a mountain trail. Lower your expectations, raise your standards, and you will stop bleeding peace into tomorrow. Most people misunderstand this. They hear, "lower your expectations," and they imagine defeat. They think it means settle, accept less, become passive. Stoicism never asks you to become passive. It asks you to stop being naive. Expectations are what you demand from life. Standards are what you demand from yourself. Expectations make you tense, because they try to control what is not yours. Standards make you focused, because they control what is yours. When you expect people to be fair, you gamble your peace on their character. When you hold your own standards, you keep your peace no matter what their character is. So do this before you sleep tonight. Replay your day and locate the moment you lost control. Not the moment life hit you, but the moment you insisted it should not have. Then say, quietly, reality does not owe me comfort. It only offers me material. That sentence alone relaxes the mind, because it ends the argument. And once you stop arguing with reality, you start noticing reality. That is where manifestation begins. Secret 4. Choose the meaning before the mind chooses it for you. You cannot manifest a life you respect while your mind is still addicted to the meaning of defeat. The ancient Stoics called it the discipline of perception. Modern people call it mindset. The label does not matter. The law is the same, the meaning you attach becomes the world you live in. Imagine 2 people hearing the same word, no. One hears a verdict. His shoulders drop. His eyes avoid risk. He starts rehearsing a smaller life, and then he calls it being realistic. The other hears information. He adjusts his angle, learns a lesson, and keeps moving. The event did not decide their future. The meaning did. Here is the trap. Most people think they are manifesting goals, but they are actually manifesting interpretations. They repeat the same inner sentence until it becomes a belief. I always fail. People never choose me. Nothing works out for me. They do not realize that this is not truth. This is training. And whatever you train, you become. So beginning today, install a new rule. Do not speak to yourself in conclusions. Speak to yourself in questions. Instead of, "This is ruining me," ask, "What is this building in me?" Instead of, "This proves I'm not enough," ask, what is the next skill this demands? Questions keep the mind open. Conclusions turn the mind into a prison. Marcus Aurelius wrote reminders because he understood that the mind will attach meaning automatically, and automatic meaning is usually fear pretending to be wisdom. If you do not choose the meaning, your old conditioning will choose it for you. Now notice the contrast again. The undisciplined man experiences pain and turns it into identity. I am broken. The disciplined man experiences pain and turns it into instruction. I am being shaped. One becomes smaller. The other becomes stronger. And when you live that way long enough, something strange happens. You start feeling calm even before the outcome arrives, because your mind is no longer waiting for permission to believe in itself. Secret 5. Guard your attention like it is your future. Because it is. Everyone talks about time management, but Stoicism is not obsessed with time. It is obsessed with attention. Time passes whether you are disciplined or not. Attention is chosen. And whatever you feed attention to grows. If you want to manifest more, stop bleeding attention into nonsense. Every scroll is a vote. Every argument is a vote. Every complaint you listen to is a vote. You are voting for the kind of mind you will have tomorrow. Most people wake up with a clear river inside them, and then they spend the day dumping toxins into it. They consume panic, gossip, envy, noise, and endless comparison. At night they wonder why they cannot sleep, why their mind races, why they feel weak. The answer is simple: they built a mind that cannot be still. The Stoic solution is not to hide from life. It is to build filters. Before you open an app, ask, will this make me calmer or more distracted? Before you reply to a message, ask, is this necessary or is this ego? Before you enter a conversation, ask, am I about to trade my peace for a moment of being right? Do not treat these questions as cute. Treat them like armor. Because attention is the root. If the root is poisoned, the tree cannot stand. But if the root is protected, even storms become training. So create one daily ritual that proves you are in command. For 30 minutes, put the phone away. No news. No drama. No random voices. Sit with a notebook and write the 3 actions that move your goal forward. Then do the first one immediately. This is how you manifest, not by staring at a vision board, but by placing attention where results are born. And here is the quiet reward. When your attention becomes disciplined, the mind relaxes automatically. It stops scanning for threats. It stops rehearsing imaginary disasters. It returns to the present, and the present is where power lives. Because mental noise is not just distraction. It is avoidance. When your phone goes silent and the room becomes quiet, your mind has to meet itself. That is why many people stay busy. They are not chasing success. They are running from stillness. But a relaxed mind is built in stillness. Not by escaping your life, but by learning to sit inside it without reaching for anything. 10 minutes of silence daily does more for manifestation than wishing, because it returns you to the driver's seat. So the next step is obvious. You must become comfortable in silence, and learn to hear the thoughts that secretly steer you. That is where Secret 6 begins. Secret 6, destroy overthinking by returning to the present. If you want to manifest anything, you must first stop manifesting disasters inside your head. Most people live in a future that does not exist. They rehearse rejection before anyone rejects them. They replay conversations until their confidence bleeds out. They imagine worst-case endings so vividly that their body reacts as if the threat is real. That is why their mind cannot relax. It is not because their life is unbearable. It is because their attention is undisciplined. Their mind is a flashlight pointed at fear, and wherever the flashlight points becomes their reality. The Stoics understood this long before modern psychology named it. Marcus Aurelius kept pulling himself back to one question: what is happening right now? Not tomorrow. So here is the practice. When your mind starts spiraling, do not argue with the thought. Do not try to think positive. Instead, ask a clean Stoic question: is this happening now? If the answer is no, you have caught the mind creating noise. Feel the air on your skin. Notice the pressure of your feet on the floor. Hear the sounds in the room. Notice the contrast. The anxious mind says, I must solve the whole future today. The disciplined mind says, I only need to do the next right step. One collapses under imaginary weight. The other becomes steady under real weight. And once you return to the present, you regain the second power, choice. You can choose the response, choose the action, choose the standard. Without presence, you have no choice, only reactions. That leads to a deeper Stoic secret. If you want your mind to relax, stop identifying with every emotion that visits you. You are not anger. You are not fear. You are not doubt. You are the one who notices them. When you say, I am anxious, you fuse with the emotion. When you say, anxiety is present, you create distance. Distance creates space. Space creates power. So begin labeling your inner state with precision. Stress is present. Desire is rising. Fear is here. Then watch what happens. The emotion loses its authority, because you stopped giving it your name. A shallow mind is like a puddle. The smallest pebble disturbs it. A deep mind is like a mountain lake. Stones fall, ripples appear, and then the surface becomes still again, because the depth is greater than the impact. Depth is what you are building. Secret 7, discipline your desire, and you will stop chasing and start creating. This is the part that separates philosophy fans from disciplined builders. Most people want to manifest everything, but they refuse the daily disciplines that make everything possible. They want the result without the repetition. They want the promotion without the private habits. They want the body without the boring workouts. They want respect without self-respect. They want freedom without restraint. Stoicism is not impressed by what you want. Stoicism is impressed by what you practice when nobody is watching. A man can recite 100 quotes and still lose his temper the moment traffic slows down. He can talk about abundance and still panic the moment money gets tight. Life does not test what you know. It tests what you have trained. So decide what you are building, then train the mind that can build it. Here is how you do it without burning out. First, pick one desire you keep thinking about. The one that returns at night. The one you say you want someday. Then strip it down to its essence. Do you want security? Respect? Freedom? Love? Growth? Be honest, because unclear desire creates noisy chasing. Second, build certainty before proof. Certainty is not arrogance. Arrogance refuses to learn. Certainty refuses to surrender. It says, I will become the person who can handle this, even if my current results are small. Third, act before you feel ready. Readiness is forged by movement, not by waiting. Fear rarely says, never begin. It whispers, prepare a little longer. And that whisper, repeated daily, becomes an entire life built on hesitation. So take one imperfect step today. Send the message. Apply for the role. Start the project. Train your body. Study the skill. Make the call. The mind relaxes when it trusts you, and it only trusts you when you keep promises to yourself. Fourth, practice the view from above. When your mind tightens, zoom out. Ask, will this matter in 1 year? In 5 years? At the end of my life? Most of what steals your peace today will be forgotten by time. Do not donate years of calm to moments that time will erase anyway. Your principles must become stars. Waves rise and fall. Weather changes. Opinions change. But the man who navigates by stars does not panic when the sea becomes violent. Now bring these 7 secrets together. Presence gives you choice. Detachment gives you peace. Discipline gives you power. And power, used correctly, becomes the quiet form of manifestation, the ability to produce results without losing yourself in the process. Do not misunderstand me. Stoicism does not promise a life without setbacks. It promises a mind that does not collapse because of them. It promises that no obstacle will be wasted unless you choose to waste it. It promises that your calm can become your advantage. So when this video ends, do not just admire these secrets. Live them. Pause before you react. Withdraw the meaning that weakens you. Guard your attention. Return to the present. Train daily. Act before ready. Rise above temporary storms. If you do, you will notice something almost unsettling. The world outside may still be noisy, but the person walking through it will no longer be. And that is the moment you stop begging reality and start shaping it. Now, one more contrast you must understand, because it is where most people ruin the entire idea. They confuse desire with desperation. Desire is a direction. Desperation is a wound. Desire says, I would like this outcome, so I will build myself. Desperation says, I need this outcome, so I will betray myself. The Stoics did not kill desire by becoming numb. They disciplined desire by turning it into preference. A preference is calm. It can survive delay. It can survive no. It can survive silence. That is why a Stoic can pursue greatness without losing peace. So if you want to manifest everything you want, rewrite the goal in Stoic language. Do not say, I must have it. Say, I will pursue it with excellence, and I will remain worthy with or without it. The first sentence creates tension. The second sentence creates power. Here is the daily protocol that relaxes the mind while expanding the life. Each morning, before the world reaches you, choose one virtue to practice: courage, discipline, patience, or fairness. Then choose one objective you are building. Link them. If you are building money, practice discipline. If you are building a relationship, practice patience. If you are building confidence, practice courage. When virtue leads, outcomes follow. During the day, use one rule: nothing enters the mind without your permission. When the trigger arrives, take the pause. When the urge arrives, label it. When the fear arrives, return to the present. This is how you stay unreadable in a world that feeds on reaction. Each evening, do what Marcus did in private. Review the day without drama. Where did you leak attention? Where did you chase approval? Where did you demand comfort from reality? Then correct one thing, not 10. Progress is quiet. But it compounds. And once a week, practice voluntary discomfort. Not because suffering is holy, but because comfort makes the mind soft. Skip one pleasure. Do one hard workout. Have one honest conversation. Prove to yourself that you can feel discomfort and still obey your principles. That proof is what relaxes the mind, because the mind stops fearing pain. Many people try to manifest by watching for signs, as if the universe owes them reassurance. That habit keeps the nervous system tight, because you are always checking, always waiting, always measuring yourself against a future you cannot see. Instead, build evidence. Evidence is calmer than hope. Evidence is a small win you can repeat. Read 10 pages. Save $10. Write 1 paragraph. Lift 1 more set. Make 1 honest apology. Each act is a brick. And when enough bricks exist, confidence stops being a mood and becomes a structure. You relax because your mind no longer needs to believe, it can simply remember. This is Stoic manifestation, quiet proof, not loud craving, repeated daily. This is the hidden formula. Calm creates clarity. Clarity creates right action. Right action creates results. And results, repeated, become the life you used to call a dream. Now, understand what you have really learned. You did not learn how to command the universe. You learned how to command yourself, and that is why the universe begins cooperating. When your mind is relaxed, you stop chasing shadows. When you stop chasing, you start choosing. And when you start choosing, your life becomes a direct reflection of your standards. The world will still tempt you with shortcuts. It will offer you noise instead of clarity, excitement instead of discipline, fantasy instead of training. That is the old bargain: feel good now, pay later. Stoicism offers the opposite bargain: feel discomfort now, earn freedom later. So keep this rule close. Whatever you want to manifest, first become the person who could keep it without losing peace. Money does not save a chaotic mind, it amplifies it. Attention does not heal an insecure mind, it exposes it. Relationships do not complete an unstable mind, they reveal it. A disciplined mind, however, turns every outcome into fuel and every setback into instruction. If you want a simple plan, take the next 7 days and live these secrets like a code. Day 1, practice the pause, 5 breaths before any reaction. Day 2, detach from the outcome and commit to the process. Day 3, drop 1 expectation and replace it with 1 standard. Day 4, rewrite the meaning of 1 setback as training. Day 5, protect your attention and cut 1 daily distraction. Day 6, return to the present whenever your mind rehearses fear. Day 7, take 1 courageous action before you feel ready. Do not aim for perfection. Aim for proof. Proof that you can keep your word to yourself. Proof that you can stay calm while the world tries to rush you. Proof that you can move forward without needing applause. Because once your mind trusts you, it relaxes. And when it relaxes, it becomes clear. When it becomes clear, it becomes dangerous. Remember, manifestation is not getting everything you want. It is becoming so disciplined that you no longer want what weakens you. The greatest victory is not over people, luck, or circumstances. The greatest victory is over the mind that used to surrender. Stay patient. Stay steady. Stay in control. And if doubt returns tomorrow, treat it like weather, not prophecy. Observe it, breathe, and continue. The calm mind does not beg, it builds. That is the Stoic secret.